Hey everybody, this is VGLogic, and today we're going to be starting a playthrough of Streets of Rage Remake. Now this is a fan-made game, a sort of very faithful homage to the Streets of Rage series on the Mega Drive. This game came back out in 2011, but shortly after development it was shut down by Sega. Now I managed to snag a copy of this literally the moment it came up because I followed the project very closely. But if you wanted to get hold of it now, I honestly don't know where you would do such a thing. But anyway, let's just dive straight in. We're going to go one player. I'm going to have a computer friend as well, and the only reason for that is just to help me kill everything when it comes, if there's lots of things, nice to have a bit of help. So we'll have a balanced AI. You can pick from a few different things, but balanced is fine by me. As for characters, you've got, well, all the characters from Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to be a boring bastard and be Axel. Who should we have to play with us? Well, let's have Blaze. Why not? Anyway, there is a story. This is a situation. We have a patrol car, helicopter, and several rocket launchers. Ammo is limited, so use it wisely. You'll only have support in accessible places, so only outdoors, pretty much. Understood. With Blaze's help, I've drawn a map with our main targets. We know that Mr. X, that's the bad guy, is behind this, but we can't touch him. He has bribed city officials, the police, and cleared his reputation thanks to the public acts of generosity, like the new baseball stadium. Sounds like a charmer. The stadium, eh? Let's kick his ass once and for all. Right on, bro. Yeah, Skate and Adam are brothers. And, okay, so we have multiple routes to pick from as well, which is great. I don't know which one to do. We're going to pick the one on the left. Also, I mean, if anyone wants to see the other routes, I'm happy to put them up. But for now, we'll just do this route. And we'll switch it if we need to later. Anyway, I think the route that we're on now is quite like Streets of Rage 1. It's a good place to start. And Streets of Rage really is, as I said, just a very simple brawler. You've got your combo, which is really just mashing the attack button. But the more you play this game, it's not deep, but there are a few things you can do that would sort of, put you apart from the newcomer that's just mashing buttons. So your normal combo, I say, is this one just here. You literally just mash, and that's what I do. You can jump. Jumping kicks are good, they get enemies out of your way. You can also grab enemies. If you run right up to them without attacking, you can grab them and sort of do a throw, which is quite cool. And there are a few things you can do from a throw. There you go. You can flip over them if you want. There are also a few kind of things you can do with the throw that can basically stun lock enemies. For some of the bosses I might do that, but I'm in no rush to do it. Also, you can get thrown by enemies too. And of course, if you land on your ass, you take damage. However, if you hold up and jump in the air when you are being thrown, you can negate all the damage because you kind of land on your feet. So, as I say, there are a few things you can do to kind of, well, once you get the hang of the game, there are a few things in it that you can do to, negate taking so much damage. I can't damage my teammate. I've set that on purpose, and it's really so she doesn't damage me more than anything else. But, I mean, as I followed this game's development quite closely. This is actually the fifth version of the game, and I mean, I think it's fantastic. What they've done and everything they've accomplished is just crazy, really. You'll notice as well, if I stop talking so much, that the music is all remastered as well. A really decent remixes of all the tunes that you'll remember if you played this game when you were younger. The options you've got in the game as well, they are really extensive. In Streets of Rage 3, every weapon had a health bar, which some people didn't like too much, because it meant you could only use them a little bit. But you can have it set so the weapons don't have health bars if you wish. I've left the health bars on just because I don't want to rely on the weapons too much. But as the difficulty ramps up, the enemies will be tougher, they'll hit harder, they'll be a lot quicker. Here right now, we're just fighting, just bottom of the barrel, easy mode stuff. And we do also have access to a special move which they told us about in the intro video. And I'm going to save that for bosses just so we can take a chunk of health off them. There's also a real incentive not to die as well. By pushing, sort of double tapping forward and pushing attack. I mean, my guy does this grand upper. But if you get enough points without dying, that move morphs. It becomes something different and more powerful. And it can morph up to 3 times. And by the end, you know, if you've still got that move and it's fully charged up, it is a brutal part of your arsenal. So I'm going to try and keep hold of that. But you can take damage from, well, there's quite a few places really, so let's, oh dear, see what I mean? So, you know, let's endeavour to make sure it doesn't happen too much. Let's just grab this guy, there we go. I'll leave the knife. Although if the enemies start picking them up, I will throw them instead, you know, just to kind of get them off the screen. Oh. But you see what I mean? I mean, even though this is just the first level, there is a huge amount of enemies. Just having an extra person here, it just separates their attention a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to use my friend Blaze as a bit of a meat shield here, but got to do what you got to do, right? Nope. Or maybe it has actually doubled the bosses and made my life harder. I'm not even too sure. Anyway, let's use the police thing. There we go. So this wasn't in the original games, I don't think. Alright, let's just see if we can jump in. Once we've got one left, I'll show you the stun lock thing as well, because it is cheap, but it's there and I will use it if I have to. But these guys hit hard, as you can see. Oof, jeez. Wow, I'm getting absolutely slaughtered. First boss, guys, first boss. Anyway, I also haven't used my special that much, which I'll start using now as well. Okay, that's 1 life down. So you do have a special move in the middle of the screen above the time limit, even though you've never ever run down the time limit. There's a bar that says OK for me right now. That means I can let off my special attack. If you let it off when it's not OK, you take damage from doing it. Jeez, these guys are tough. I didn't play Streets of Rage 1 that much. I think these guys are from Streets of Rage 1. Anyway, let's let them come into the screen a bit so I actually get some hits. Oh no, Blaze is doing a good job, to be honest. There we go, that's my special. Oh, I didn't do that. She used her police. She obviously thought that was necessary. I'd be inclined to believe her. Okay, that's 1 down, and this guy needs a kick in the face, I think. There we go, finished. I mean, a proper pig's ear of that. Okay, well, we got extra lives. Okay, it's implied that Adam punched him in the face, I think. Alright, yeah, okay, well, I guess we'll get straight to it then. I'm hoping the boss isn't as brutal. I really struggle with enemies with sort of projectiles, apparently, so let's just hope we can keep our life bars up, because that death in the last level means I won't have my boosted special move anytime soon. My boosted grand upper, should I say. So far, so good. Oh, what on earth is going on there? There we go. I think she might have let off like a poison bomb or something that she found on the floor. Thanks for that. Appreciated. Oh, he's got a knife. He's got a knife! I've got the knife. Now, Axel throws the knife, I think. Yeah, there we go. Some characters use it as well. Some of them, you know, you can actually use it as a handheld weapon and get a few hits with it. I never see the point in them though, because they make the enemies flinch, so you can't get, you know, you can't kind of, you know, combo them. You can't do that much damage in one go. Wow, blood effects, you see that? Okay, what's this? Okay, 1 up, very nice. Also, you see that star by my name? Well, by the 6. I now have a boosted, I don't know when that came in actually, I have a boosted ground upper now, so it goes a little bit further along. A little further along the screen. Bit of extra reach is always good. There we go. What's this? Gotta be careful of those renegade guys, they do like to throw, and they slide as well. They do telegraph it a bit though, so you can usually tell when it's going to happen. Now my safe play is to bring him into the screen a bit. There we go. Absolutely worth it. You're also invincible when you do that attack, so you can do, later on if there's like things with quite long attacks, you can be a bit cute and, you know, negate the damage entirely by just doing your special move through it, which is quite cool. Okay, let's just chuck this at him. Honestly, knives are wasted on Axel. But that's what they do anyway. His ground upper also uses some weapons, like the baseball bat, so you can kind of go in for a hit like that. I'm not sure how much extra damage it does, if anything. Happy to have it nonetheless. There we go, getting into the swing a bit now. That was dumb damage, never mind. So to chuck weapons is a bit weird. You kind of have to push jump and attack at the same time, like exactly the same time, like that. Oh, these guys suck. There we go. Looks like any chances with those fire guys. It's basically contact damage. Very annoying. Now, a lot of people have the most kind of fond memories of Streets of Rage 2, I think. I'd agree with them, it's pretty damn good. However, Streets of Rage 3, the reason it wasn't so beloved was because when it came out here, it was just too damn hard. I mean, you took such a ridiculous amount of damage from just about everything, and it did feel like it was just artificial difficulty to a certain extent. Enemy health bars were very long, and you couldn't even play the game on easy, because if you did, the game was only 4 stages long, and then it called you a wimp and you had to try and finish it on normal, which was no mean feat back at the time. What is interesting though is that Bare Knuckle 3, not Streets of Rage 3, Bare Knuckle 3, the Japanese version, didn't have that issue. The difficulty was way more like what Streets of Rage fans were used to. So with that in mind, I thought Streets of Rage 3 was great, other than being basically impossible. But Bare Knuckle 3 was brilliant. I really preferred it to Streets of Rage 2 anyway. Streets of Rage 1, which I think these levels that we're on now are based on, is good, but there are a few things about it I don't really like. I mean, it was the first in the series, and things just felt very clunky. I know this is a remake, but things feel so smooth, I mean, for what we're doing. Alright, this guy's got 2 health bars. I'm going to show you the stun lock, if she lets me. I don't think she's going to let me. But basically what you can do, you can just punch them in a rhythm, like this. Doesn't work for every enemy, but you can just keep punching them and they can't do diddly shit. And there we go. That's how you stun lock, that's how you be cheap in Streets of Rage. Okay, can we break these trash cans? We can. I don't really need them, but you need the food more than me, love. Go on, take it. I'll have the pizza. Whoa. You're gonna die? Yep, there we go. Yeah, bikes never used to explode like that. Oh, and there's guns as well. Again, they weren't really in the game either, I don't think. No, I'm pretty sure they weren't. Just something they've added for the remake. But following the sort of development, like I did, if I remember right, all these sprites were made from the ground up. I could be totally wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure I read that. This was a few years back. But I think they were sort of remade. You know, people looked at the sprites in the game and they didn't just lift them from the old game. Whoa, that was cool. people didn't just lift them, you know, from the old games and stick them in. I do think they were remade. And if that is the case, you know, you really got to just marvel at everything that was done here. I think the finished product here that I'm playing, I think it boasts over 100 stages as well. That's just crazy. So many different routes through the game. Homages to sort of, you know, every boss, every area from the old games, from the old series. And hey, I mean, I know that Sega's got to protect their property, I guess, but I would absolutely love to see you know, an up-to-date Streets of Rage, but they won't do it. I just don't think it's something they think they'd ever have a market for. I suppose to a certain extent I agree with them. I mean, fans like me would relish it, but would it sell well? That's a question. Okay, these guys, again, enemies I'm not too familiar with. I do believe these are from Streets of Rage 1. So, if anything, I guess we've gone down the Streets of Rage 1 route. So maybe if we did the one that was a bit more to the side on the map, it would be something I'm a bit more familiar with, but honestly, that's fine by me, keeps it fresh. Okay, so they go invincible when they do that attack. That sucks. Sucks for me. Now, I wish that Blaze didn't use her police thingy earlier in the stage. I think that's what that helicopter was. I could really use some free damage on these guys. Ouch, man, these guys hurt. I'm probably going to lose a life here, which is a shame. We'll probably lose our... Yeah, there we go. We used our kind of we'll lose our upgraded Grand Upper, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I stopped him just before he did the move. Oh, no, now you use your special. Thanks. Should have done that before I used a life. But the question is, would we have died anyway? If this guy hits me a couple of times, I'm tempted to say maybe. Or maybe not. We'll never know. Thanks, Blaze. Thanks. Anyway, I think we're going to split this video into maybe 2-stage parts, if you like. He was serious about killing us. Who was this guy? A high-ranked syndicate thug. He was in control of this area. And the beach. I guess we're going to the beach next, then. So that's where we should head to next. Thanks, Axel. Yes, okay, so we're going to go to the beach next. I'm going to pause it here, and I think we're going to continue in the next video. So, well, I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I hope you join me for the next video. I should post that up quite soon.